Hello, my name is Bill Plympton. I'm a New York City independent animator, and I'm here in Montreal to premiere Idiots and Angels at Fantasia Film Festival, and I'm very excited to see how the audience reacts to the film. I think this film, Idiots and Angels, is a real breakthrough. It shows that I'm, sad to say, maturing. I'm growing up. I'm taking subject matter that's a little more serious. But the whole process started with Hair High, which I loved. I thought that was a great film. I thought this film was going to be my big success. I spent a lot of money on voice actors, you know, David Carradine, Sarah Silverman, Dermot Mulroney, Matt Groening did a voice, and it was a really big production. I spent a lot of money on the animation and the coloring and the camera. This was shot painted cells and camera. Well, the film did not do that well. I was very disappointed, and I said, you know, God damn it, I'm sorry, I know I'm not supposed to swear, but I just really was pissed off, and I said, well, screw you, I'm just going to do a film just for myself, just pencil on paper. I'm not going to worry about who's going to see it. I just want to do something just for myself. And at this point, I had transitioned from film, shooting on a film camera to scanning on a computer. So this time I just did pencil drawings, and we scanned it on a computer, then colored it on computer. So it was a lot quicker, a lot cleaner, a lot easier, a lot less complicated, and then obviously a lot cheaper. So that's one reason. I think the cost of this film was 1/4 of Hair High. So it really was a big break in terms of expenses. And it went a lot faster. I had more fun drawing it because I didn't have to tell people how to paint this, or how to paint the cells and Xerox the cells, and so it was really probably the easiest production, the most fun production I ever did. Well, there's 3 reasons why I do hand drawing. One is I like the look. It feels like you're in an art gallery and you're seeing hand-drawn art that's really precious. It's really has the human touch to it. There's a lot of mistakes, and that to me makes it special, all the mistakes. Number 2, it's cheaper than computer animation. Computer animation, as you know, is extremely expensive. I think the Wall-E was about $150 million, maybe $200 million to make. I certainly do not have that kind of money. I can't hire, you know, thousands of animators to make my films. It's just me. And number 3, it's just fun. I love to draw. To me, it's one of the biggest pleasures in life is to sit down at the drawing board and start drawing these characters. So those are the main reasons why I really prefer hand-drawn animation. Well, I think the main thing is the money. I finance the films out of my pocket. So consequently, I don't have a lot of money to hire people to make the film. And again, it's fun. For me, I like doing the script. I like doing the storyboards. I like doing the backgrounds. I like doing the character design. I like doing the animation. I like doing the directing. I like telling the story. You know, for me, that's the pleasure. Then after that sequence, then it goes to my staff, and I don't know if that's production or post-production, but they scan the films, they color them, they composite them, they clean them, they edit them, and then I start hiring sound people, musicians, and the sound people. So that's all the people that I pay. So for this film, out-of-pocket expenses is about $150,000, something like that. Now that's not paying myself. If I paid myself, it'd be like $1 million. I do not like distribution. Unfortunately, for some of the films, such as Hair High, I did have to self-distribute. I made some money on it, but it's a big pain in the butt because you got to do the posters, you got to call the movie cinemas, you got to send out reviewer screeners, you got to make sure they review it, you got to make sure there's advertising everywhere, you got to make sure the print gets there. It's a big pain. So I hope for this film that we get a good distributor to handle the film. If John Lasseter called me today and said, hey Bill, do you want to come out to Pixar, direct our new film? You know, here's a couple $1 million bucks, I would love it. I would like, even though it's CGI, because you know when you make your own film and you get distribution, you're seen in maybe 100, 200 cinemas around the world. That's not, you know, maybe 300 cinemas. Where a Pixar film gets seen in thousands of cinemas. And I'm really jealous. I really wish I could get a big ad in the newspaper and get huge cinemas and huge box office. You know, I'm just this little small speck of an animator guy who just barely gets by. And there's someone like you know, John Lasseter or Brad Bird, you know, they're like superheroes, and I'm very jealous. Well, for an independent film, yes, it's a very good success. And the other side of the coin, obviously, is that no one hassles me about making the film. No one says, oh, you can't do that, that's going to offend 13-year-old kids, or that's going to offend our distributors, or that's going to offend certain people in Sweden. You know, no one's going to tell me that. I just make the film the way I want to make it, and there's a certain freedom to that is quite pleasant. While I'm making the film, I like listening to music that is appropriate for the scene I'm working on. Say it's a chase scene, something that's upbeat, say it's a scary scene, something that's dark and moody. So while I was drawing it, I listened to a lot of Tom Waits, and I just felt like, wow, his music is so nice for this film. Because it takes place in a bar, a bunch of barflies, you know, real down and depressed kind of people. So I don't know Tom Waits, but I do know Jim Jarmusch, and so I called Jim and I said, hey Jim, working on this new film now, can I send you some clips? If you like them, pass it on to Tom, see what he thinks. So Jim liked it. I mean, it's very similar to Strangers in Paradise anyway, but he passed it on to Tom. Tom liked it a lot too. He said, yeah, you know, any of my songs you can have, I mean, for a certain amount of money. But it was a very good fee. It was, you know, he knew that I was independent. I didn't have a lot of money. In fact, the whole music budget was $10,000. And there's about 30 songs in there, so you figure it's not a lot of money for each song. And I still haven't talked to Tom Waits. I've only talked to his wife, and mostly it's through email, so I don't even know what the guy sounds like. But and then the Pink Martini was a little bit of luck because my brother, Peter Plympton, is in the band. So, so there's it was pretty easy to get a hold of Thomas Lauderdale. Well, I'm working on another feature now. Actually, there's a couple things. Working on for another feature now. It won't be done for another 3 years. It takes about 3 years to make a film, and it's about jealousy. It's kind of like Postman Always Rings Twice or Touch of Evil. It's very dark, and it's kind of similar to Idiots and Angels, but it's more of a romantic jealousy, revenge kind of film. It's very dark, very noir. Then I'm doing a book with Kanye West. It should be out in November. It's called Through the Wire, and we took his lyrics and I illustrated all of his lyrics, and that should be out coming in the fall sometime. There you go. Idiots and Angels. Let me sign it for you. I just can't stop drawing, you know, that's the thing. I grew up drawing, and at 3 years old I was always drawing, and I never like to finish these films because they're so much fun to draw.